Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted as always to be joined by Thomas Cathy. This is a final prediction video for Andy Ruiz versus Jarrell Miller, which takes place tonight in Los Angeles. Thomas, good to be joined by you as always. If you're watching this video and you enjoy it, please press that subscribe button. Please do leave a comment with your final prediction as well. We would love to hear it. Thomas, it's another one that's tough to call. Andy Ruiz is the favorite in this fight. He's the former unified world champion. However, incredibly inactive the last 4 or 5 years against a fighter in Jarrell Miller who gave Daniel Dubois a good fight in his last time out. There's only one loss on his record. I think it's another really tough one. But as always, I'm going to give you the floor and see what you've got to say about this fight.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I definitely think this is a tough one for Ruiz. Even though Big Baby Miller is, he's been quite inactive himself. He at least, had a fight more recently. And, he's a giant guy. I mean, he literally is 305 pounds. So, it's gonna be, can Ruiz hurt, you know, uh, Jarrell Miller is going to be a question. Can he get him out of there? And is he going to be able to stop? I see Jarrell Miller, putting the pressure on him and pushing him back against the ropes and making the ring small on him, I think. So, how is Ruiz going to be able to stand up against that? And, you know, he hasn't really looked too great in his last couple fights. Um, against guys that really he should have looked good against. Um, so yeah, it's a tough one for Ruiz, but I think Jarrell Miller is just enough past it to where I think at the end he'll fall apart. I think Andy will eke out a close decision, and it'll probably be closer to what his last couple fights looked like. Maybe closer, but closer on the cards. But I don't see him looking good in this fight either. But we shall see. I just think that without the is Jarrell Miller going to be anywhere close to what he was like 6, 7 years ago when he was on the stuff? Um, I don't know. So yeah, I pick Ruiz by a close decision.
Yeah, I think this fight has the potential to be a depressing affair when you've got Andy Ruiz Jr., who you can tell has been very inactive, isn't the fighter he was, and isn't really in shape. And then Jarrell Miller, who just yeah, you can kind of question how good he is, but obviously for large portions of career, it looks like he was on performance enhancing drugs. So it's hard to judge how good this guy actually is. So I think it's a tough one to predict, and it's a tough one to expect what to happen as well. For me, one thing I'm going off is actually the weights. Jarrell Miller significantly lighter than he was in his last fight. Still a very large man at 305 pounds. But that's the lightest he's come in for a significant amount of time. Andy Ruiz coming in at 274 pounds, which is just it's too heavy for me. He's not a tall guy, and I just think that when you've seen let below like less than satisfactory performances, he's been at that sort of weight. So I'm not sure that bodes well for him, and I question the kind of the lifestyle he's been living the last couple of years when he's not been fighting. It's a really tough one, but I'm just going to edge to Jarrell Miller in this fight on points. I don't say that with a whole lot of confidence because as I said, I don't feel like we know really how good this guy is. But my faith in Andy Ruiz, considering the inactivity, considering the weight, um, is low at the moment. So we're disagreeing again, Thomas. It's going to be really interesting. We're going to see who's right and who's wrong. I've got one question before I do let you go, if you are correct, Andy Ruiz wins. Can he get like the heavyweight division is very exciting at the moment. Obviously, you've got what most people would say the top three guys in Fury, Usyk and Joshua, not necessarily in that order. And then you've got some really exciting heavyweights below them, i.e. Zhile Zhang, Joseph Parker, Ajit Kabayel, Jared Anderson, Martin Piccoli, all kind of all seen as top 10 or top 15 guys. Can Andy Ruiz get back to that now? I think he's 34, 35 years old now. Do you have faith that he can beat Jarrell Miller tonight and then get back into the action?
Um, I think he can beat Jarrell Miller. And if he does, assuming he does, he will definitely get a big fight. That's for sure. Um, I just don't see him winning any of those fights at this point. Not when you have guys like Usyk and Fury at the top. Um, you, it's just a completely whole nother level um, of dedication and craft, in my opinion. Um, and I just don't see Andy Ruiz being able to, achieve what he did 5 years ago against Joshua. Even if he fights Joshua again, you know, they're 1-1. Maybe they can run it back for a third time. I think that Joshua would beat him, maybe even knock him out this time.
Yeah.
So yeah, he wins this fight, gets another big payday, but after that, I just don't see. I don't think we'll be seeing much of him anymore.
No, no, no. We'll see. Yeah, it's an intriguing one, but I just think that for Ruiz, it's a typical example of someone who's reached the top of the mountain, got a lot of money, and I don't think he has reclaimed the hunger he once had, and I just think that's seen. He's not really put in a good performance since he won all the belts, which was quite a long time ago now. So we'll see. We're going to end on that's another disagreement, Thomas. Enjoying it. So it's always good to speak to someone who's going against me. But yeah, all good. We will see what happens tonight. If you're watching this video, please do check out the rest of our final predictions videos and the rest of our content, and please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thomas, good to be joined by you, and I'll speak to you again very soon.
And likewise, thank you.